Well, happy Monday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Morning Musings. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. We have embarked on a study of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and the doctrine of the resurrection from the dead. And this is, needless to say, this is a massive study. But what I'm sharing with you is the foundational framework for understanding this chapter. Now, am I going to answer every single question that you might have about resurrection? No, because I've still got lots of questions myself, okay? But the bottom line is, there are certain things that we can know about 1 Corinthians 15. There are certain things that we can know about the resurrection that Paul taught so that we can know definitively, number one, about the nature of that event that Paul was anticipating. Number two, we can know definitively when he expected and when he taught that resurrection would take place. So those are some things that we can absolutely, positively know if we are willing to look at the evidence with an open heart and with an open mind and with an open Bible. I've been sharing with you that no matter what else our concept of the resurrection might be, we must realize that Paul said repeatedly in the book of Acts, he teaches this in 1 Corinthians 15. His doctrine of the resurrection that he was anticipating, would be in fulfillment of God's Old Covenant promises made to Old Covenant Israel. I have shared with you why this is so critical. In numerous formal public debates, I have asked my amillennial and my postmillennial opponents, are your eschatological hopes based upon, taken from, God's Old Covenant promises made to Old Covenant Israel? They have invariably said, no. Their hope, their eschatological hope of the resurrection, is from Adam and Abraham. Folks, I've been challenging amillennialists and postmillennialists to show that distinction in the Bible. I have yet to have one offer any kind of evidence, substantive evidence, to show that kind of distinction. And by the way, that raises the question, if the hope of Israel was not the hope of Adam, and it was not the hope of Abraham, then at what point of time and how was Israel's resurrection hope fulfilled? After all, Israel had a resurrection hope. Paul said in Acts chapter 26, 5 and following, that the 12 tribes, earnestly serving God day and night, hoped to attain to that resurrection. So if Israel's resurrection hope was not the hope of Adam, and it was not the hope of Abraham, then when was Israel's resurrection hope fulfilled? And where do we find the distinction? Where do we find the delineation? Where do we find Paul saying in 1 Corinthians 15 or any other text, I'm looking for the fulfillment of God's promises to Abraham, not Israel. I'm looking for the fulfillment of God's promise to Adam. Now, I'm not still looking for the fulfillment of God's promises to Israel. I'm looking for the promises to Adam. Oh, and where does Paul ever say that he was looking for the yet future fulfillment of the Davidic promises made to David, but not the promises made to Israel? Wasn't David a part of Old Covenant Israel? Was not David the king of Israel? Furthermore, I want you to catch the power of this. In 1 Corinthians 15, I've hinted at this, but this is critical that you understand this, because we have in 1 Corinthians 15 the summation of the one eschatological hope. Paul said there is one hope, Ephesians 4 and following. Now watch this. In 1 Corinthians 15, we have the eschatological hope of Adam. As in Adam all men die, even so in Christ shall all men be made alive. Number 2, we have the Abrahamic resurrection hope. Abraham's resurrection hope was the better resurrection, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 35. It was the new heaven. It was the new earth. Number 3, we have the Davidic eschatology. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, 25 and following. Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. That's Psalms 110. Do you catch that? Right here in 1 Corinthians 15, we have the summation. We have the conflation. We have the bringing together in one single chapter the one eschatological hope from Adam to Abraham to David. And now watch. When would that come to a reality? When mortal has put on immortality, when corruption has put on incorruptibility, then shall be brought to pass the saying, death is swallowed up in victory, O grave, where is your victory? Wait, that's Isaiah 25 and 8. That's Hosea 13. What does that mean? That means that the Adamic hope, that means the Abrahamic hope, that means the Davidic hope would be fulfilled when? When Israel's eschatological resurrection hope was fulfilled. Folks, there was not and there is not an Adamic eschatology versus Israel. There is not an Abrahamic eschatology versus Israel. There was not in Paul's day, a Davidic eschatology divorced from Israel and Moses, the law, and the prophets. You can't do it. It is a false theology to create that kind of an eschatology. We have more to say about this on the flip side, but in the meantime, don't forget, very special offer, Essays on the Resurrection. This has some absolutely fantastic material in it, material that will help you understand 1 Corinthians 15 and the resurrection. Normal price, $17.95 plus $4.95 shipping. However, for those who watch my videos on YouTube and Facebook, if you order the book off of BibleProphecy.com, all right, or DonKPreston.com, send me an email telling me that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook. Your total cost, I will refund everything except $15. Look, it's going to save you $7. That's a really, really fantastic price. Get a copy of your book today, Exegetical Essays on the Resurrection. And we'll see you on the flip side with more from 1 Corinthians 15.